Welcome to another edition of the Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and Bigz and Schultzy. This week, we got Storm Surge sits, trap games, big name busts, and lineup landmines you have to avoid. Producer, button! Welcome back to another Fantasy Forecast with Grindberg and Bigz and Schultzy sits edition. We are coming off a pretty big week of good sits calls. I know I told everybody to sit Buffalo Bills wide receivers, and guess what? Joshua Palmer led all wide receivers with 8 points on the Buffalo team. Hey, did you guys know that Buffalo? So I bought a hat with a big W on it, but it hasn't arrived yet. Because I was going to wear that to say, hey, I told you all to sit all the Buffalo wide receivers, and that was a W. So we got more sits calls coming this week for week 7 in the NFL, and we're about to get into it. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. It's week 7, and we just got through a apocalypse of injuries, so I'm sure there's going to be more potentially happening this weekend. So hopefully our starts and sits show will help us get some clarity into this week 7. Schultzy, what's going on with you, man?
Hey, I'm good. I'm definitely feeling better than Justin Fields.
Hey-o.
9 sacks. Well, let's get into the nitty gritty here, guys. Let's start with our sit here of the week here. There, Bigz. Let's start with one of your guys.
Oh my God, the Lego DeLorean time machine building set from Back to the Future is only $260. My first set. So last week I kind of cheated a little bit, and I gave you a position group instead of a singular player. I'm going to do that again. And this week I'm going to give you the Arizona running backs. I know you guys just went out and spent a lot of fab or waiver wire priority on Bam Knight for some reason, but don't play any Arizona running backs this week. They are playing the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers have allowed the fewest points to running backs in all of the NFL and fantasy this year, to the tune of 9.8 points per game. So Bam Knight's not doing anything, and neither is anybody else in that Arizona backfield. So go ahead and sit them securely on your bench. I mean, I don't know what to do with this Arizona backfield. I think you just wait for Jalen to come back. Or Trey Benson is what I mean. That's what I meant to say, Trey Benson. You just wait for Trey Benson to come back before you start any Arizona running backs.
Yeah, I mean, plain and simple, it's going to be hard to predict who's going to be where or what week. And especially against a matchup like the Packers, you say, is a tough one for sure. And I'm going to hit up another running back as well, who I think is a sit as well. He has been pretty consistent for the Titans over the last 2 seasons, but showed resilience, toughness against opponents. But his recent game against the Raiders wasn't his best, carrying the ball 10 times for only 34 yards. Did add a couple catches, but his role as the clear back is in jeopardy now. And that's I'm talking about Tony Pollard. And he continues to be the main guy, but Tajay Spears is back, and he's been back for 2 weeks, but he was really ramped up last week, and he almost got about 50% of the snap share here in this game. And now they're up against a pretty stout run defense in the New England Patriots, and I'm not looking for Tony Pollard to have a whole lot of success on the ground. A tough matchup. The Patriots rank 4th in the league against the run, and they're pretty stingy against it. So Pollard has rushed just 60 yards 4 of his last 5 games, which isn't great. When you think about a running back, I'm looking at probably a little bit more when you think about it. And the Patriots only average 3.7 yards per carry. So I'm looking at Pollard as a big time sit here this week, guys.
I just dropped him in the league.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, not great.
All right, Schultzy, you get into your guy.
All right, Bigz, cover your ears. This one here is Jackson Dart.
No!
It's been a great start for Jackson Dart. Through his 3 starts here, he's been QB 11, QB 16, and QB 3 this past week against the Eagles in a huge game Thursday night. He's been nothing short of great, man. Like, he's showing everything you want to see from a rookie early in his time, and like, he's using his legs. Like, he's just shown poise. Like, he's been fantastic. Like, what else do you want to see from this guy right now? Like, it's been awesome. But with that to say, he's got the Broncos defense this week, and hey, this was the reason I was really strongly against Justin Fields. And they get after the quarterback. They just play defense on all levels well. And I just think it's going to be a rough day for Jackson Dart, especially, you've lost some elite neighbors. I think they aren't going to have any problem limiting this wide receiver group. I'm just looking for an overall tough day again. And this is probably going to be a theme across the whole season. The Broncos defense, they are for real, and they're just going to feast on quarterbacks. And I think Jackson Dart, unfortunately, is the next one in line.
Well, you ask what you want to see from the rookie, and what I want to see from the rookie is him go out and absolutely torch a defense like the Denver Broncos.
It's a big litmus test this week. Like, if he fails, like, it's fine. Like, you aren't going to think anything of it. But if he succeeds, like, again, he just took down the Eagles, and then if he does it again, like, this is going to be huge for him. Like, there's nothing to lose, only to gain.
Right, and that's what I was going to say was I want to see him do that, but he's going to do it from the safety of my bench.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, exactly. Don't roll the dice against the Broncos this week, folks. Now, Bigz, let's get into your spotlight. The guy that you must sit, or potentially the whole team or player group, whatever you decide to roll with. Let's hear it.
This one sucks because I was huge in the preseason on telling you guys that Garrett Wilson was going to be a top 10 wide receiver finisher in fantasy. And the fact is that we have seen him able to be shut down. And he's also hurt and dealing with an injury. He's going against a top defense. And so I'm absolutely going to sit Garrett Wilson this week. Give him some time to recover. Give that offense time to like get a better matchup. But Garrett Wilson is good to bench this week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even certain he's playing right now. I think it's probably on the doubtful side at this stage. So yeah, with all those factors, I mean, it's tough to trust him in your lineup this week. So incredible. Schultz, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I mean, little tease to the next episode. I agree that Garrett, if he plays, is tricky this week, but there's other parts of that offense I still think can thrive.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into my spotlight, Schultzy. Let's run the video. Now, I'm going to tread carefully here, but I'm going to hold my breath. I mean, I'm sitting at A.J. Brown, and because his season has been a roller coaster, and Week 7, it doesn't offer much reason for optimism, in my opinion. The Eagles' offense has struggled to find rhythm, especially in the passing game, and Brown's connection with Jalen Hurts, it's looked shaky at best. This week matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, it only adds to the challenge. The Vikings have one of the NFL's stingiest defenses against wide receivers, allowing the fewest fantasy points to the position all season. Brown has shown flashes. Last week was one of his better games, but we're with the ongoing drama on the field and a tough matchup. He's going to be a tough one for me. I'm looking for the Eagles to get back in the win column here, and I think they're going to have to do it with a steady run game. I look for, Barkley to be a very good play here this week, but I think A.J. Brown is going to be a tough situation. The Vikings defense, it is vulnerable towards the run, not towards the pass, so A.J. Brown is a guy that I'm going to be sitting, and Jalen Hurts is looking for other guys above A.J. Brown, it seems at times. Goddard's been pretty good lately. Same with Devonta Smith. A.J. Brown Brown's target share is there, but it just seems that it's not there with the connection with his quarterback. So I'm going to sit him this week if I can in some of my lineups. But with the way the wide receiver teams are looking at this stage, it's going to be tough to bench anybody of that caliber. So just, proceed with caution and be wary of A.J. Brown this week.
Sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Run your vid.
That's true.
All right, for me, my sit of the week is going to be Michael Pittman Jr. And he started off pretty hot, and people thought this guy's back, and he kind of is back. He's been playing good football, but if you get down into it, this guy has not caught more than 80 yards in a game, and he's been fairly touchdown dependent, which I think is a little bit fluky when you catch 4 touchdowns in the first 5 games, and Jonathan Taylor didn't get a ton in the first 5 games. So that feels a little fluky to me. Now, this is an offense that's scoring points, so he will get some touchdowns moving forward, but not so sure it's this week against the Chargers. And they are allowing the 3rd least fantasy points to wide receivers. So matchup here, not a big fan. And he saw 3 targets last week against the Cardinals in a game that was competitive the whole way. This was a very good game. Like, the Colts had to win it late. And so when a team's playing solid pass defense, you can show that you can limit this guy. He only saw 6 targets the week before that against Las Vegas. Now, that was a blowout, but the targets have been a little inconsistent. And he's had 2 games with, like, big-time targets. I'm just not seeing that this week against the Chargers. They're, like I said, really good defense here. 3rd least fantasy points among allowed to wide receivers. And the last little nugget I got is Daniel Jones's yard per attempt have dropped every single week so far this season. So defenses are starting to figure this guy out. I don't think he's as bad as he was in New York, but he sure ain't, like, the quarterback people were saying this guy might be the MVP 3 weeks into the season. We're somewhere in the middle ground here. Like, MVP's nuts, but at this point with the coaching, he's not the dude what we saw in New York. But regardless, we are still seeing defenses kind of figure this guy out in this passing offense. So all that thrown together, and I'm really just not in on Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, I mean, and Bigz and I talked about, 2 guys on the waiver wire show this week. He had Alec Pierce, I had Josh Downs as pickups, and with reason, both these guys are commanding, some of that target share, which is going to siphon some of that. And his upside is the big play. And if he's not getting over 80 yards, like you mentioned once, the upside is going to be tough to hit without the target share with these guys siphoning that. So
I don't think it's insane to say that Tyler Warren may lead the team in targets the rest of the way.
Totally. Yeah. I think he's their wide receiver 1, honestly. And
right.
A big time buy for people. I could see him finishing as a tight end 1.
You're insane.
Yeah. Well,
in the membrane. All right, folks, be sure to check us out for our start show tomorrow. That'll be airing, and hit us up on the FSAN from the Fantasy Forecast here. Bigz, got anything to add?
Yeah, watch all our shows. We got points after Thursday coming up next week on Thursday after the Thursday night football game. Breakfast with Bigz, 8:30 a.m. Sundays. That's West Coast time, 11:30 East Coast time. We have our weekend wrap up and waiver wire show that comes out on Tuesdays. Check out Spilled Coffee on Sunday. It's a really, really great show with really great guests. And yeah, all the things to do, the calls to action, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff, and buy our merch. That's all.
And we hope you win.
We hope you win.
We hope you win.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
Okay, bye.